Okay guys, I'm giving you an update. I threw away the old bike, I threw away the other motor. They both pissed me off to the point I wanted to drive them off a cliff. Not with me on the bike, of course, but I still wanted to ghost ride them off the cliff. So we threw them in the garbage, and I bought a brand new bike, $350 at Walmart, and I bought a used motor for $250 installed. But the used motor ran good until I got to Daytona. So it ran from, oh hell, I don't even remember that little town. I guess about 40 miles back that way. It ran back over that way there, away from Daytona Beach, because we're on Daytona Beach right now. And I bought that motor, he installed it, and we got it running decent. And I took off and got to here, and it started stalling out a few times in Daytona. Each time the head bolts were coming loose, I had to tighten them back down. You see, I have the head off right now, the valve cover off anyway. And so the last time it stalled out, did the same thing when it stalled out, and I went down and I tightened up the head bolts like I've been doing to get it to start back up, and it wouldn't start back up. For the last 2 days, I've been trying to get this thing to start with no success. So I went ahead and called the guy who I bought this motor from and asked him to order me a brand new motor, which he did. And that's sitting in the hotel room that I'm staying at, which is a dinky little dive, by the way. $65 a night, but it does have a hot shower and a warm bed. So I've stayed here for the last 2 nights, and tonight too I'm going to stay here and get an early start in the morning, providing that this valve cover job does the job. You can see right here, zoom in, okay, see right there on the right side, right there, let me see here if I can point to it good, right here, the valve cover the gasket was bent up and allowing a leak right through there. You can see on the head itself where the carbon buildup is where the gasket was leaking. I had another leak over there and another leak right there. With 3 leaks, it wasn't gaining any compression, it was just leaking like crazy, and it wouldn't start back up. So I was getting tired out trying. That's why I went ahead and bought a new motor. So the way I look at it now is, with a new motor, I went ahead and opened this head up because I didn't want to open the engine up until I had a backup motor. And I went to see what the problem is, and I found the head gasket being the problem. Here's our head gasket. See the carbon on that one side? This whole thing was coated in carbon like that, making the gasket twice as thick and hard to seal, because the carbon's different heights all the way around. You couldn't torque them down and get it right anyway. I'm sure it wasn't torqued right to begin with. That's why this happened. You can see on the edges here of the gasket is warped and bent right in the middle right there. And you can see right where the leak was, right there. And you can see the bend right there. See the little mark? That's a bend in the gasket that I've tried to flatten out as best as I can, and we're going to hope this will work, because the gasket's not broken yet, but we have to keep this gasket in there. I did buy a gasket, a liquid gasket I could replace it with, but the head gasket's the valve cover gasket is very important. It keeps you from blowing your motor, so you really want to keep the valve cover gasket in there as much as possible you can. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this one like I'm doing. You see I'm getting it shiny again, and we're going to stick that in the motor. I'm going to put the valve cover back on. I cleaned the valve cover up nice and new, so there's no carbon buildup in the combustion chamber anymore. There's no carbon buildup on the seal of the seat where the head gasket is going to go, or the valve cover gasket is going to go. So we'll get a nice seal here, I think, when I'm all done cleaning this. It should sit right on there really good and seal my combustion chamber up finally. And we'll torque it down. I went and bought a torque wrench for $40, so I had the right torque wrench, but that will seal the gasket and seal the head valve cover down to where it shouldn't leak anymore once I get that carbon off of there. And we'll flatten it out as best we can with the torque wrench. You know, I'll flatten it out before I put it in, but we'll flatten it out even more with the torque wrench, and hopefully that one spot right there doesn't leak, or this spot right here on the other side looks like it got bent somehow, but it shouldn't have inside the motor, but it did. And those are 2 leaks right there, so we're going to work on making sure those are fixed one way or another. I'm sure the motor will start, just depends on how it will run. So I'm going to have the old motor still, and I'll have a brand new motor carrying it with us for backup. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning this right now. And I cleaned this head seal right here, where the seat goes, where the valve cover gasket sits. We want to clean the carbon off there, that carbon will make a leak as well, especially being when the thing's already bent where it goes. I'm going to go ahead and turn this just a little bit, half turn, because it can go any which way on here. That's going to move those bends off that area where it was leaking before, and maybe help me get a better seal with this valve cover gasket. So they'll just move over there like that on this side, and that way there, when it was leaking up there and it was leaking down there, it's got a good gasket now sealing it. We'll see what happens. I think we're going to run really good when I'm done with this. Give me about 30 minutes here and we'll do a test drive. But I gotta get finished cleaning it up first. So the most important part is making sure everything's clean before you seal this gasket back on. Okay, so that's an update. I'm in Daytona Beach. I came in from Deltona or wherever it was. I don't remember the place exactly, but it was about 30 miles that way from being broken down. And from Orlando to there, I pedaled the broken bike for about 15 miles, and then there's a new bike which pedals real easy even with the motor on. So I'm glad I bought it, but it pedals. Had to pedal it for about 25 miles to get to that motor to buy it. And then thank God that the guy had the bracket so that motor could fit on this bike, because this bike got a larger front rail and the motor I had didn't fit. That's what made me throw that motor away. I was pissed off because the motor wasn't fitting on the bike when I tried to put it on there. I would have fixed that other motor. You know, whatever. I threw a motor away that probably shouldn't have, but it is what it is. You know, Scorpio gets pissed and they overreact sometimes. You know, what can you do? But I got it fixed one way or another. So guys, remember, I need to get to 50 subscribers here, and then I could stream live all these events that I'm doing and keep you updated every day instead of every couple days when I get down to make a video. Okay, don't forget to donate to the American Heart Association. My Cash App hashtag is $STYMIEPUGS. It'll come up as my name, Scotty Emery. And you can feel free to donate whatever you want. We have a bid pool started for 5,000. We're trying to get there. Right now we're at less than 100. I haven't got very many donations yet, but I haven't tried to collect them either. So help us out if you can. And I'm headed around America with one of these little motors. We're going to see if we can make it. I got all my repair kits and tools now, including the torque wrench. See, I had to buy that $40 torque wrench so we could do this head right. Make sure there's no problems with it. And I might put a little bit of that seal where it was broken too, just to help it seal up. I don't know. We'll think about that after I get it straightened out. We'll see. Okay. All right, guys. Remember, donate at $STYMIE Pugs PUGS Stymie Pugs on Cash App. Or if you see me on the road, you could donate directly to me, and I'll put it in the pool for you. However you want to do it. And please hit that subscribe button if you've seen this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to have a lot of videos of the whole America all the way around from a bike. Okay. Be fun to watch me go and see if I can make it. I'm trying to go from Key West right now to Maine, and then from Maine to Michigan, Michigan to Washington, Washington to Southern California, Southern California to Texas, Texas to New Orleans, New Orleans back to Florida. And it's going to be about 8,500 miles. So root for me, root me on. Subscribe is the best thing you could do for us, so we can get the videos live streaming, and we could get the cash flow going for the American Heart Association, where you don't have to donate yourself, and I'll be donating all the video money from this YouTube channel. Okay? Hit that subscribe button, please. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.